Welcome to tonight's exciting presentation of Bedford Varsity Football, brought to you by Kicking Mule Productions and the Studer Select team of Danbury Realtors. We'll be back in just a moment with tonight's pregame show. You're watching Bedford Varsity Football. Welcome back to tonight's pregame show presented by Kicking Mule Productions and the Studer Select team of Danbury Realtors. Let's head down to the booth for in-depth analysis and insight into tonight's exciting Bedford football matchup.
Good evening from Groganstown Field at Bedford Community Stadium for the season opener of the 2020 varsity football season. Tonight, the Bedford Kicking Mules take on the Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology here in game number one. Dan, in a season we didn't know if was going to happen or not.
Yeah, first it was off, then it was on, and then it was off, and then it was back on. So, it's very exciting to be here. It is definitely a different season, though. This is not business as usual, just looking at the crowd here. Limited attendance. They did limit the number of people that could attend in person. And then also no marching band. That's changing a little bit. But I think the biggest difference is the athletes on the field will be masked. Wondering how that's going to play into things. Considering, these athletes, they aren't exactly, walking down the hallways when they're out on the field.
Certainly an off again, on again, off again, on again kind of scenario here for Bedford football. They were preparing throughout the summer to play. They were told, well, I don't think we're going to play. The season is postponed until spring, most likely. And then there was just a huge pushback from people around the state of Michigan to let the kids play. And the governor relented. And, the situation that we're in now is that the kids are out here on the field, but it looks very different than it normally would. We're here in the booth wearing masks and doing things that we would have never thought we would have to do either. By the way, my name is Dustin Kress. I'm here with Dan Roth, and we'd like to thank you for joining us. This is a return to the broadcast booth for us. We took last year off. I thought we might be done permanently, but the scenario played out, and they kind of needed us to do this year because of the fact that so many of you are not able to be here at Bedford Community Stadium with us. So it is an honor and a privilege for us to be back on the air with you, and we want to thank you for making us a part of your Friday night. These Bedford Kicking Mules are going to play a 6-game regular season schedule. They are automatically going to qualify for the playoffs along with every other team in the state of Michigan, but the schedule is different.
Yep.
Than it was supposed to be. We were supposed to start the season with Sylvania Northview. That didn't happen. We're also not playing Ann Arbor Huron or Ann Arbor Pioneer this year. We are starting tonight with the Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology. That's a mouthful, so we'll probably just call them Melvindale after this.
Or the Gators.
But they are our first week opponent here in what was supposed to be week 3 of the season. We were supposed to play Ann Arbor Huron tonight. But the Ann Arbor schools are actually not going to start playing until next week, so that left Bedford with the challenge of finding a week 1 opponent. Next week, we'll be right back here at Groganstown Field at Bedford Community Stadium to play Ypsilanti Community High School before we go on the road for 2 weeks to play Skyline and Saline. And then we'll be back here in Bedford for the last 2 weeks of the regular season against Monroe, the hated arch rival, for the Battle of the Golden Cleat, and Woodhaven to wrap up the regular season portion of Bedford's football schedule. Of course, all of those new things are happening, and we also have a new head coach.
That's true.
For the third time in 2 years, so the third different coach in the last 2 calendar years.
Yep.
John Phillips takes over as Bedford's head coach after Mike Vickers led the Mules to a 6-4 record a year ago.
Yeah, and Coach Phillips has experience with Bedford football. He is not new to the show. Was an assistant under Coach Wood back in the day, and now he's kind of taking charge. And he is bringing them back, kind of that, veer option offense. So a lot of these players kind of grew up learning that offense. So it's probably good for them, given all the things that are different already this season, to have something that, they know and have some experience with.
And absolutely, if you go down the list of assistant coaches here, obviously John Phillips, the head coach, was here for many years previously, but Jay Lake, Chris Wilhelm, Jeff Skabinski, Corey Shire, James O'Brien, DJ Lutz, Robert Peace, all these guys were on the staff previously, so it's really just bringing the whole family back together, and I know that was an important thing to John Phillips to sort of re-emphasize the word family in Bedford football and sort of bring the tradition that had been built over the years back. It's a little different now with a different person running the show, obviously, but certainly a lot of those old Bedford traditions are back on the field this year.
Yeah, not only the traditions, just the fact that a lot of this staff has been around Bedford football for a while. It's not learning new faces, new names, and anything. It's already have those relationships built with the players and the coaches, and that's just going to be a benefit. Normally when you get a new coach, you don't always have that.
On the other side of the coin here, Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology, they went 0-9 last year. They actually have not won a game since 2017. Their head coach is Demetrius Spicer, and he brings his Gators here to Bedford Community Stadium for the first time. These teams have never played before, and certainly they were probably in the same boat we were, just looking for a Week 1 opponent. They're a Division 8 school. They have a school population of about 160 kids, and so certainly everybody just kind of scrambling for that Week 1 opponent, and it'll be really interesting to see how they are, as far as being short-staffed tonight against a Bedford roster that's got over 30 kids. Let's take a break now for the national anthem.
We all play a role.
Welcome back to Groganstown Field at Bedford Community Stadium. False alarm there on the national anthem. We're going to do that again in a minute, but again, we have to wait for the team to be on the field for that to happen. So we'll try that again in a minute. But again, my name is Dustin Kress with Dan Roth, and we are excited to be here with you tonight. And Dan, what are you looking for from the Mules tonight as they take on Melvindale?
Well, it's really just going to be, as we had mentioned in the last segment, this off and on again schedule that we had. Are they going to be firing on all 8 cylinders? Did the whole disruption affect anything? So really, if they can just go to their bread and butter and have it here on game 1, not only is that a great sign for their results tonight, but also throughout the entire season. So we'll be looking for that. And then looking at the other side of the coin here at the Gators here, they do not have a deep roster. Running about 18 players here. We haven't been able to confirm how many actually are here today. But given the mask situation, given the fact that Bedford plays hard football, endurance is going to be a point of consideration here. It's kind of hard to breathe in one of these things, just walking about. So when you've got to also be running up and down the field, that also plays into it. So we'll see how that works out for the Gators. The Mules, looking at that side of it, they've got a pretty deep bench. So probably won't be too much of an issue for them.
I know in talking to the coaching staff leading up to the game, they were certainly hoping to get as many players as possible some reps on the field tonight just to kind of get that first week jitters out of everybody's system, and certainly to get as many players some varsity snaps as possible as we get ready to head into conference play next week. So a lot of kids hopefully going to get to see some action for the Mules tonight. And certainly in the year of COVID, everybody on the team's got to be ready to play because you never know when your number is going to be called.
Yeah, that's one of the things. We'll see how the Mules handle it here as they get ready to take the field here. We'll also see what the quarterback situation is for them as well. It seems like they haven't quite settled on one yet, so we'll see how they play that tonight.
Yeah, I was told that all three quarterbacks for the Mules are hoping to see the field tonight as they continue to work on that quarterback battle, so it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. And, certainly you want to keep all three kids ready to go because, again, you never know what's going to happen as you go through a season and who's going to need to play when. Brady Henderson was the starting quarterback a year ago. Luke Carver is also in that quarterback battle, as is Austin Hammer, Brendan Hammer, number 7. And the Mules are taking the field for the first time here in 2020, dressed in all red. And we will now take our break for the national anthem. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Groganstown Field at Bedford Community Stadium for the kickoff of tonight's football game between the Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology and your Bedford Kicking Mules. Bedford in their all-red home uniforms tonight as we have 12 minutes on the first quarter game clock, and the Gators get ready to kick off to the Bedford Kicking Mules. Melvindale Academy did win the toss. They deferred their choice to the second half, which means they didn't. They elected to take the football. And now Bedford will be kicking off as the Mules move from left to right here in the first quarter. Dagan Garcia, number 42, going to kick the ball away for Bedford. Back deep for Melvindale. Number 2, Terrell Dantzler the third, and number 4, Dion Curry. Garcia will put a foot into this one. It'll be an end-over-end kick that'll get to about the 7-yard line where Curry takes the ball. And he'll be spun under short of the 15-yard line by a herd of Mules, and it'll be first down and 10 for Melvindale Academy at about the 14-yard line.
Yeah, him coming across there. He started up kind of more towards his left side of the field, came across. Really not a lot of blocking to cover him for that move there. So Melvindale's kind of in a sticky spot to start this drive.
So first and 10 for the Gators from their own 14-yard line. 11:53 remaining here in the opening quarter. No score as the Mules go on defense for the first time this evening.
Yeah, and we don't have too much information on Melvindale's offensive strategy here, so the Mules probably didn't get a lot of chance to look at game film either, so we'll see how this plays out for them.
Looks like they're going to line up with a couple of backs in the backfield behind the quarterback number 13, Corniella Chahua. He'll take the handoff and hand it off inside. Not much going on there as he's brought down by the interior of the Bedford defense. Coming up at the bottom of the pile there, number 61, Zach Solaric on the tackle for Bedford. Second down and 10, no gain on the play. Actually called that a loss of about a yard. Call it second and 11. Ball spotted at about the 12-yard line. 11:28 moving here in the first quarter. Two receivers to the bottom side of the formation here for Chahua on second down and 11 from their own 12-yard line. Flags fly, and this is going to be false start against the Gators, so that'll back them up 5 yards, and they are moving the wrong direction here. It's going to be second down and 16 from the 7-yard line.
Yeah, it seems like it might be first game jitters here for Melvindale. You always see a couple really bad penalties, high school football, first game of the year. So that's going to hurt them, and really not a great place to have that sort of penalty, not just because of where they are in the field, but now it's second and a country mile.
That's one of my old lines.
That is one of your old lines.
Second down and 16 from the 7-yard line. 11 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology with the football at their own 7-yard line. Chahua reaches under center here. He'll pitch to his running back. That's number 2. He'll be spun down short of the 5-yard line. That is Terrell Dantzler, the ball carrier. Conrad gets the tackle for Bedford. It's going to be third down and long from about would they spot that at the 5?
Give or take, looks like it.
Third and 18 from the 5-yard line. 10:25 remaining here in your opening quarter. No score as the Gators have a long third down conversion ahead of them here. And let's see what they dial up on third and long. There's a lot of movement, a lot of moving around there on that Melvindale side. Chahua reaches under center. He takes the snap. That's going to be whistled dead, and I think that they've either called timeout. Yep, they did. They took a timeout there. They were really close to a delay a game penalty if they didn't burn that timeout. So with 10:01 to play here in the first quarter, Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology has taken their first timeout of the night. And we want to take this time out to remind you to visit Groganstown Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram at 6100 Telegraph Road, Toledo, or online at groganstown.com to see a selection of new and used vehicles. We also want to thank Rich Kenny from Forest U Lanes. And also want to take this moment, Dan, to thank Joe Kuchar from Kicking Mule Productions for putting all of this together for us tonight so that you all can watch Bedford football live over the internet for the first time ever. This has never happened before, and we're allowed to do this now because the Michigan High School Athletic Association has relaxed their broadcast rules because of the COVID situation.
Yeah, I suppose if there's one good thing to come out of it, that would be it.
So Corniella Chahua, the quarterback for Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology, brings his team to the line of scrimmage on third down and 18 from their own 5-yard line. He'll reach under center. Takes the snap and drops to pass. He is going to be, oh, he's intercepted, I believe, at the 1 yard line. Nope, they called it incomplete. And that was Gabe Johnson, who almost came away with the huge interception, but he was not able to haul that in, and it'll be 4th down and 18 at the 5 yard line with 9:54 to play here in the first quarter, and Bedford stands to get excellent field position.
Yeah, this is one of those things, Bedford had an opportunity to come out and really show their strong defense, and not a single slip up through that whole thing. So great job for the Mules defense.
Caden Foster goes back to return the punt for Bedford. Snap is in the air. Curry's going to put a foot into it. It's going to be a line drive kick fielded by Foster at the 30. He's at the 25. He's at the 20. He's at the 15. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. Did he get in? He did. Touchdown, Bedford Kicking Mules. Touchdown, number 18, Caden Foster, the senior running back and linebacker who fielded that punt and took it 30 yards to the house for the first Bedford score of the 2020 season, with 9:40 remaining here in the opening quarter. And the Mules will come on to attempt an extra point here off the feet of number 42, Dagan Garcia, who comes on to attempt the extra point. Brady Henderson will hold it. Jack Nacella is going to be the long snapper. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah, and you're right. That return there, a lot of good blocking, and that's why we were able to see that result right there.
Snap is back. The kick is up, and it's good. With 9:40 remaining in the first quarter, your score, Bedford 7, Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology nothing. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're listening to Bedford Varsity Football on the home of the Mules. And welcome back to Groganstown Field. And Dagan Garcia has been a busy young man tonight. He is going to put his foot into another kickoff here. Dantzler and Curry are going to be back to receive this kickoff. And this is going to be fielded by Curry at the 10-yard line. This time he'll get out across the 15, out across the 20. And he'll be spun down on the far sideline after a decent return up to about the 25. And that's where Melvindale Academy will take over 1st and 10.
Kind of confused me there, Dustin.
Allendale's in South Carolina. I think there's an Allendale, Michigan, too, but.
So, yeah, they're a little bit better blocking this time from Melvindale. Gave them a little bit better results here. We'll see if their offense has learned anything from the last go-around. Little disappointing results for them, so I'm sure they're looking to kind of strike back, get back on their game.
So 1st down and 10 for the Gators from their own 25-yard line. 9:32 remaining here in the opening quarter. Bedford 7, Melvindale nothing. 2 receivers to the bottom side of the formation for Chihuahua on 1st down and 10. He'll take the snap, going to hand it off inside. Nothing going on there as that running back just got herded under by the Mules. That was Dantzler the third, the ball carrier there. He's going to lose a yard. And it'll be 2nd down and 11 again.
And that Mule defense is very quick to swarm to the ball. They are aggressive. They are hungry. And they are just showing they are faster and stronger right now.
One receiver goes each way for Melvindale on 2nd and 11 from the 24-yard line. Jehua, the quarterback, going to bring a receiver in motion, takes the snap, going to now he's going to look to pass. He's going to roll back the other way. Ball is in the air, and that is incomplete. Intended for number 6, Kyrie Mallet. And that is an incomplete pass. It's going to bring up 3rd and 11 from the 24-yard line of Melvindale Academy with 8:44 to go here in the first quarter. And so far, this Gator offense has had no luck against the Bedford defense.
Yeah, just dropped back, had no protection whatsoever there in the pocket, had to scramble a little bit, and then was just swarmed and had to dump it off.
So 3rd and 11 for the Gators at their own 24. Tight formation here. One receiver tight to the formation on the top side for Chihuahua, who takes the snap and drops straight back to pass. Pressure comes. They can't get to him, but now there's a second wave of pressure coming, and that is going to be stopped at about the 20-yard line. Number 38 for Bedford, Thomas DeStott, the tackle there. It'll be 4th down, and we're going to call this 14. 8:18 to play here in the opening quarter. Bedford's going to get good field position again. Back to return this punt for Bedford is going to be Joey Nagel, number 14.
Yeah, and watching that last play there, clearly didn't develop the way Melvindale had intended. Quarterback made what he could of it, but the Mules are just too fast. Couldn't get anything out of it.
So Deion Curry back to punt for the Gators. Nagel stands at his own 49-yard line. Snap is back. They'll put a foot in the air. The kick is going to be downed by the Gators at the 43-yard line. That's where Bedford will take over. 1st and 10 at the Melvindale 43. 7:38 to go first quarter. Bedford 7, Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology nothing, as the Bedford offense comes on the field for the first time tonight. And the first quarterback out is going to be number 2, Luke Carver, going to lead the Mule offense to the line of scrimmage here on 1st down and 10. He'll have a receiver to the bottom side of the formation, and that standard wishbone veer formation for the Mules here on 1st down and 10. Carver sends a man in motion. That's Boycell. They're going to hand it off inside to Hullebarger. How many years have we been saying that on the air?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Logan Hullebarger gets the ball and gets 1st down yardage for the Mules.
Yeah, just had an open hole there, and the offensive line did a great job building it for him. Just went through it, got a great pickup. Great job by Hullebarger.
15-yard gain on the play. Makes it 1st and 10 for Bedford at the 28 of Melvindale. 1st and 10 Mules. Hullebarger behind Carver on 1st down. Takes the snap. Gives it off inside again. Not as much going on that time. Hullebarger, the ball carrier there. Curry with the tackle for the Gators. Only a gain of about, 2 yards there? Maybe 3?
Yeah, it looks like they're giving a bit of a generous spot there.
Oh, wow, they said they fumbled the ball. All right.
I did not see that.
I didn't see that either, but they fumbled the football, and they gave it back to Melvindale here. So the Gator offense comes back on the field, as does the Mule defense. And that's interesting. I can't say that I saw that.
Yeah, I didn't see the fumble or the signal from the refs, but you know what? It is what it is.
So 1st and 10 for the Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology, their own 26-yard line. 6:52 to go here in the first quarter, and now the Gators call timeout. That's already their 2nd timeout of the half. We do want to take this opportunity again to invite you to check out Groganstown Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, and they have the best deals in town on a new Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. And they are over on Telegraph Road in West Toledo. Stop by and tell them that we sent you. Also want to thank you all for tuning in tonight, and we really do appreciate you making us part of your weekend. But Dan, a little bit of a sloppy start there for the Bedford offense.
Yeah, as I said earlier, for Melvindale, Mules seem to be facing similar situation. First game, really got to work out some of those jitters, some of those hiccups. So hopefully the Mules have, got burned, learned their lesson, but we'll see. I will say this, though, Dustin, looking at the crowd, it's just been kind of weird this game. Normally we hear a very loud crowd here. In the days of Rona, though, it's a little bit more quiet, so it's hard for the Mules to feed off that home crowd as well.
Certainly not what we're used to here for a season opener in Bedford. Chihuahua brings the Gator offense to the line on 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. 6:52 to play here in the first quarter. He'll drop to pass. The ball comes out. That's a fumble. They'll fall on it. Melvindale's going to fall on that, but he lost big yardage back to the 15-yard line. So that's a loss of 11 yards on that play. And this is going to be 2nd down and 21 coming up here. They're going to mark this down at the 20-yard line.
No, that's a 15.
I'm sorry, that's the 15-yard line. I can't read. So this is going to be 2nd in a long day's drive. Chihuahua takes the snap, drops to pass, and he is going to be spun down. Oh, wow, dumped it off there to number 11, Angelo Martin, on the little shovel pass there, and he's going to get across the 15 to maybe the 17-yard line. Call that a gain of 3. This is still going to be 3rd down and 19. 3rd and 19 for the Gators from their own 17-yard line with 5:50 to go here in the first quarter. Bedford leads 7-0.
Good awareness, though. He realized he hadn't quite crossed the line of scrimmage, so he could do that forward pass. Or maybe just luck, one of the two.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right?
Yeah.
Chihuahua under center here on 3rd and long, takes the snap, drops to pass. Pressure comes. He's still rolling backwards. Now he's going to try to run. He's going to try to dump this off. He's still moving around back there, and that is going to be a horse collar tackle. Bedford's going to get called for a face mask, I think, there, and the Mules are going to give Melvindale a 1st down and a 15-yard penalty the easy way there, unfortunately, as it looks like he either got a handful of face mask or yep, that's a face mask. That's what I thought there. I couldn't tell if it was a face mask or if he got him under the shoulder pad there, but it's a 15-yard penalty nonetheless, so that'll move him up to where are they going to spot this football? The 25?
That's what it looks like.
So 15 yards from the spot of the foul. That moves them to the 25, and it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Gators. 1st and 10 for Melvindale Academy at their own 25-yard line. 5:20 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 Bedford.
That gives Melvindale a new life here because that drive was not going their way after that big fumble, getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Hopefully this gives them a little new life.
Chihuahua, the quarterback, under center. He's got 2 backs in the backfield with him, 2 receivers to the top side of the formation. He drops to pass. You know, he's going to be shifty there, and he's going to get a few yards. That's a big gainer there out across the 30 to about the 33. So we'll call that a gain of 8 for Chihuahua. And Solaric comes away with the tackle for Bedford, but not before Melvindale picked up about 8 yards on that play. So it's going to be 2nd down. I'm sorry. They're saying this is the yard marker across the way says 4th down. I believe this is the face mask penalty not an automatic 1st down? Yeah, so they're saying it's 4th down. The officials are not changing their mind on this, so Bedford stands to get the football back. So that's interesting. I thought that the face mask penalty came with an automatic 1st down, but I guess I was wrong.
It does, yeah. So we'll see how that plays out.
So here's the punt. This is a much better offering, and we're going to muff that. And this is number 13 for Bedford, Chase Singley, and he's going to be off to the races. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. There's a flag on the field, folks. Don't get too excited as Singley brings it back. But there is a flag back at midfield, so let's check this penalty marker here and wait and see what they're going to call here. But if this stands, it'll be the 2nd punt return for a touchdown tonight. But I think this one's coming back.
Yeah, I think we might have had a block in the back. What's worse is it was away from the ball, which means it was a worthless penalty to do.
Well, Singley took off, and I started looking back behind the play for flags. Oh, you know what happened there? He waved for a fair catch, and then he advanced the ball, but he muffed it. So I think I thought the muff negated the fair catch.
Right, that's how I've always seen it, but, the refs are calling it as they are. Mules
Interesting.
still won't have terrible field position even after the penalty, so we'll see how their offense hopefully can avoid fumbling it this go.
So it'll be Bedford football, 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line after the carnage is added up there and they mark those yards off. Actually, they're going to spot this football at the 35. That's right. Okay, so 3:47 to go here in the first quarter. Bedford 7, Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology nothing. 1st and 10 for the Mules from their own 35 as Luke Carver stays in at quarterback for Bedford. Hullebarger, the fullback behind him. He'll have Vassell and Singley, I think, is the other slot back there. They're going to take the snap, hand it off inside to Hullebarger, who sprints free. Logan Hullebarger, 50, 45, 40, 35, and he'll be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Big gainer for Logan Hullebarger, and that'll bring up 1st down and 10 for the Mules. There is an injured player on the field there for Melvindale, number 7, Amari Martin, the 6'2", 170-pound senior, and he is now coming off the field under his own power, but it will be 1st down and 10 for Bedford at the Melvindale 33.
Yeah, that could have just been a small game for Bedford, but Hullebarger got spun around and was able to break free from the first tackle. Then lost a bit of his footing there. Seemed like he tried shifting into a gear that he didn't quite have. Stumbled a little bit, but still a giant pickup for the Mules.
Foster and Wazell, the slot backs for Bedford. Hullebarger, the fullback, behind Carver on 1st and 10. They'll pitch it. That is going to be Foster at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Bedford. Touchdown, Caden Foster from 33 yards out. And that's his 2nd touchdown of the night.
Yeah, and, right there, he had a great block from Randy Bozell, who really set that up. If he wasn't in that position and delivered as hard of a block as he did, different ball game. Blockers don't always get the praise they are due, but there's a situation where I would say he's the real hero of that play.
Just a great all-around offensive play for the Mules. Carver put the pitch right on the money. He led him just a little bit with the ball and allowed Foster to continue to gain momentum as he ran towards the line of scrimmage, and that's how that play is set up. Henderson on to hold for Garcia to attempt the extra point. Snap is back, the kick is up, and there's a flag. So they're going to blow it dead. I think maybe the Gators jumped off sides here.
Yeah, that's the early sign that I saw.
They're going to decline that. They're going to retry. So Coach Phillips opts to decline this penalty, and now the Mules will reattempt this extra point. Snap is back. He'll put it down. The kick is up, and it's good. With 3:08 remaining in the first quarter, your score Bedford 14, Melvindale Academy nothing. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're listening to Bedford Varsity Football on the home of the Mules. Welcome back to Groganstown Field at Bedford Community Stadium as Dagan Garcia gets ready to kick the ball back to the Melvindale Gators. Danzler and Curry go back for the Gators again. Curry's going to field this again at about the 8-yard line. He'll come across the field, spin away from one tackle, and he'll be dropped just short of the 20-yard line. They may spot him down at the 20-yard line. Gabe Johnson gets the tackle for Bedford, number 43 for the Mules, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Gators at their own 20-yard line with 3 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. Bedford leads 14-0 after Caden Foster picked up his second touchdown of the first quarter.
Yeah, this is a situation where we're really seeing how one team is outpowering the other here. Some of these blocks that Melvindale are throwing might as well just be paper plates they're putting in front of them. It's just really brutal. It's almost like watching Appalachia State take on a Big Ten team, but we've seen how that sometimes goes.
Well, except for Appalachian State did a pretty good job against a couple of Big Ten teams a few years ago.
We've seen how it can go, so it's not over yet, but it's definitely showing.
South Carolina against the Citadel 2 years ago. That's all I have to say. Unfortunately, 1st and 10 for the Gators at their own 20-yard line. 3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Bedford leads 14-0. Chihuahua, the quarterback, going to have one receiver each way. There is some confusion on that Melvindale sideline, as now they'll send another receiver to the top side of the formation. Brings a man in motion. Chihuahua drops to pass. Ball in the air. Pass is incomplete. Broken up on the far side there by Brady Henderson. So 2nd down and 10 now for the Gators, their own 20-yard line. 2:55 remaining here in the first quarter. Bedford 14, Melvindale Academy nothing.
Yeah, and that pass there, just really poor placement by the quarterback there. Don't know if it was a mistake of the route run or what happened there, but just was not in the ballpark of the receiver.
Chihuahua reaches under center here on 2nd down. He'll motion a receiver across the formation. He'll take the snap, going to drop to pass. He is going to be spun around here. He's going to try to get away, and he does get away from a couple of tackles before he's pushed out of bounds. And that's going to be a big loss. Again, down to back at about the 14-yard line. We're going to call that a loss of 6.
Yeah, just had all day to get rid of it, too. Just didn't take the opportunity. Instead, took the sack, lost a few yards. Really should have thrown that away a lot sooner.
Gabe Johnson was over there on the tackle for the Mules. 3rd and 15. They spot this back at the 14-yard line. So it's actually 3rd and 16. 2:45 remaining here in your opening quarter. Seems like Melvindale takes a long time to get their play in.
They do, and that last one, I was surprised there wasn't a delay game penalty.
They're motioning both receivers across the formation here to the near side. For Chihuahua on 3rd down and 16. He'll drop to pass. He's going to heave this into the air, and that is incomplete. Broken up there by Kyle Scoble.
Yeah, Trevin Brook, the receiver there, had quite a few defenders on him. Really was kind of a Hail Mary pass. They're trying to slip that in between those two defenders.
Trevon Brook, the intended receiver there, number 5. And it'll be 4th down and 15. 4th and 16 for the Gators at their own 14-yard line. 2:38 remaining here in the opening quarter. Bedford 14, Melvindale Academy nothing, as Chase Singley goes back to receive this punt for the Mules. Curry going to punt the football away. I feel like if Coach Phillips wanted to send pressure, they could probably get one of these punts, but he's not really been trying. That's not what he's been trying to do. I think he wants to get his offense on the field.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. A game like this, you have the opportunities. It's not a conference game, so it's not a bad time to experiment and see what your team can do.
Punt is high and in the air. Singley is going to field this and call for a fair catch, and Bedford will take over 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line of the Gators. 1st and 10 Bedford, 2:30 remaining here in your opening quarter. Mules lead 14-0, and Bedford is going to go back to work on offense. And now we'll see a change at the quarterback position as Brady Henderson checks into the game as quarterback for the Mules. I told you that they were going to play probably every quarterback they had tonight, and as you can see, that's playing out so far as Henderson checks into the ballgame. He's got a receiver to the near side of the formation. That's number 21, Caden Weaver. Hullebarger behind him as the fullback. And I think the Gators just used their 3rd and final timeout. They did. And interesting, this first quarter has gone really slowly. A lot of kind of weird things have happened, but they've now burned all 3 of their timeouts for the first half, and we're still in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's a situation you don't see very often. I'm wondering how much of it is, as I'd mentioned before, those first game jitters, things just not firing on all 8 cylinders, trying to make everything flow. Because when you're in a situation where you don't have the right personnel on the field, you don't have the right play called in, people aren't in the right position, you're going to have to burn a timeout or take the penalty here. And right now, the way Melvindale's playing, they can't really afford the penalties. But again, they've burned all 3 timeouts here before the end of the first quarter. That means they don't have any for the second.
Yeah, so I mean, and so now they're unfortunately in a position where they're going to be taking some penalties if they can't figure things out procedurally instead of burning a timeout.
Right, and then also clock management towards the end of the second quarter. They have nothing to do with the timeouts now. They have to rely on getting out of bounds and things of that sort to control the clock.
Well, you know, the other unfortunate thing for Melvindale is they only have, I think, 17 or 18 kids dressed to play tonight. And so that means you've got several kids that are probably playing both ways and on every snap.
Oh, for sure.
Henderson reaches under center for the Mules. He'll send Bussell in motion, takes the snap, gives it off inside to Hullebarger, who's going to get inside the 40 down to about the 39. We'll call that a gain of 3 for Logan Hullebarger. Tackled by Moore for the Gators. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from the Melvindale 39. 2:09 to go here in the first quarter. Bedford 14, Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology nothing, as the Mules move from left to right towards the east end zone here in quarter number 1. Weaver comes to the near side for Bedford. They're going to send Carver in motion that time. Hullebarger gets the ball again. He'll be dropped short of the 35 at about the 36. We'll call that a gain of maybe 3. So this is going to bring up 3rd and 4. There are a couple of injured Gators now, and one got up quickly. The other one did not. Number 68, David Moore, coming off now with some help from his teammates as he favors one of those legs. 3rd down and 4 from the Melvindale 36 for Bedford. 1:35 to go here in the opening quarter. Bedford leads 14-0.
Yeah, going back to that last play, the Mules line had created a great hole for Hullebarger, but Tyshawn Dantzler saw it and plugged the gap very quickly here. Offense had what they had going, but the defense really read it well and plugged it up, and could have been a lot worse for the Gators.
Zeller comes to the near side of the formation. Nagel to the top side of the formation as receivers for Brady Henderson on 3rd down and 4. Henderson brings a man in motion, takes the snap, going to keep it himself on the option. Brady Henderson reads it well, and he's gone. Touchdown, Brady Henderson. Touchdown, Bedford Kicking Mules from 36 yards out. The Mules hit the scoreboard again, and it is 20-0 with 1:07 to play here in the first quarter.
They put Henderson in, and he makes sure that Coach Phillips and the rest of the team take notice of what that guy can do.
He had the chance to hand it off or to pitch it there, and he made the right read and kept it himself, and he was just wide open.
Yeah, and good speed, too, that I noticed that he had coming through there.
And so Bedford gets on the board again. Henderson's going to hold this kick for Dagan Garcia. Nasala to come in and snap it back to him. Snap is back. The kick is up. And it's good. With 1:07 remaining here in the first quarter, your score Bedford 21, Melvindale Academy nothing. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're listening and watching Bedford football on the home of the Mules. And Dantzler returns the kick for the Gators, and they will get the football back. And now it is 1st and 10 for Melvindale at about the 25-yard line. With 1 minute left here in the first quarter, Bedford now leads 21-0.
Yeah, this is really the look that the Mules, or excuse me, this is really the start the Mules are looking for to get going with this game. Really has been all Bedford so far here. Melvindale looking to kind of get some dignity back here, but they really need to find something here. They've tried what seems to be everything that they could do. They've tried running it. They've tried the pass game. Nothing's really working for them. They need to find something.
So 21-0 Bedford, your score. 1 minute remaining here in the opening quarter. And the Gators will go back to work on offense and try to get something moving here. 2 receivers to the near side of the formation. That's Martin and Martin. 7 and 11 for the Gators as Chihuahua goes under center on 1st down and 10 from his own 24. He'll take the snap, gives it off inside. The Mule herd comes in and stops that one. I think that was number 6, Kyrie Mallett, the ball carrier. He gained a yard. Going to call this 2nd down and 9 from the 25. 38 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter. Bedford 21, Melvindale Academy nothing.
As much as, Melvindale hoped for more, they got a yard.
Yeah, 1 yard. But that's a
start.
A yard in the right direction.
Yes. Progress is being made.
They do have to snap this before the quarter comes to a close here, but they are still in the huddle as the clock runs down. I don't think the back judge is going to call it. And that's the end of the first quarter. Folks, we've played 12 minutes in Temperance. At the end of one, your score Bedford 21, Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology nothing. We'll be back in 1 minute. This is Bedford football. Just let me know when you're ready. We are back here in Temperance. Folks, we've played 12 minutes, and Bedford couldn't have started off much better than they did. It is 21-0 as they switch sides of the field, and now the Gators will be moving from left to right towards the east end zone. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for Melvindale from their own 25-yard line as we start quarter number 2. Chahua going to bring his offense to the line of scrimmage here on 2nd down and 9. Motions a receiver, Martin there across the formation, going to take the snap, hands it off, and not much real estate available there for the ball carrier. Number 2, Terrell Dantzler the third.
Still a little forward progress. However, 1 yard at a time, 2 yards at a time here isn't going to do it for them. Hopefully we'll see something out of the Melvindale offense because he's still on an exciting game.
Number 74, Joel Rand, the tackle there for Bedford, the senior defensive lineman there on the left side of the Bedford defensive line tonight. 11:20 remaining here in the first half, 21-0 Mules. 2 receivers to the top of the formation for Melvindale Academy on 3rd down. Hands it off inside to number 6, Kyrie Mallett. He'll get out to about the 30. Call that a gain of 3. It's 4th down. 81 with the tackle for Bedford. We don't have an 81. 61. We'll call it Zach Solaric there on the tackle for Bedford. We're doing it by committee here in the press box tonight, and we all got it wrong. 10:43 remaining here in the opening half. 21-0 Mules, your score. And back deep to return this punt for Bedford is number 14, Joey Nagel.
It looks like Melvindale's still trying to sort out personnel situation here.
They didn't have enough guys on the field.
Yeah, this is the situation. First game, these sorts of bugs should be worked out. I'm surprised they're still having them.
And Nagel goes back deep for Bedford. He stands at his own 44-yard line. Straight up in the air with the football. And Nagel calls for the fair catch, and he'll be down at the 47-yard line of Bedford. So 9:57 to go here in the first half. Bedford 21, Melvindale Academy nothing. Mules with the football now moving from right to left towards the west end zone as Brady Henderson stays out there at quarterback for Bedford.
Hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
So 1st and 10 for the Mules. Oh wow, they're having the center handle the ball exclusively. I didn't realize the officials weren't spotting the football.
Yeah, they're doing that. It's been an interesting change of things. It just feels different.
Henderson sends Caden Foster in motion, takes the snap, hands it off inside to Logan Hullebarger, who gets out to about the 50. Call it a gain of 3. Dantzler gets the tackle there for Melvindale, so 2nd down and 7. 2nd and 7 for Bedford, ball right at midfield. 9:37 remaining first half, Bedford 21, Melvindale Academy nothing. Mules with the football, and it is really weird to watch the center spot the ball.
I've been watching it all game, and it blows my mind.
Henderson reaches under center for the Mules. Takes the snap, going to keep it himself on the option, gets a nice block, going to be down at the 40. Inside the 40, he's going to try to cut back up the field, and he'll be brought down at about the 31. And that's a gain of 19 yards for Bedford. It's 1st down and 10 for the Mules. And Brady Henderson, after the 19-yard gain at the 31-yard line of Melvindale with 9 minutes to go here in the first half. And the Mules look like they're going to be knocking on the scoreboard door here again.
Yeah, Henderson trying to get fancy there. Could have been a dangerous situation, but I'm thinking he's trying to earn that starting spot.
1 receiver goes each way. Actually, 2 receivers to the top side. Now they'll send Foster in motion. Henderson going to take the snap, going to keep it himself again here. Nice read again, and he'll be brought down inside the 15-yard line. Actually, we'll call it the 15-yard line. 16-yard gain for Brady Henderson. 8:30 to go here in the first half. Mules 21, Gators nothing, and Bedford in the red zone.
Yeah, 2 great plays there by Henderson. Yeah, I think he's trying to get that starting spot. I don't know about you, but that's my thought.
Sometimes it's best to let them compete it out like this.
Hey, competition can really drive a team forward, even within the team itself.
8:08 to go here in the first quarter. Brady Henderson under center for the Mules with one receiver each way on 1st and 10 from the Melvindale 15. Motions a man and hands it off inside to Logan Hullebarger, who is met and dropped by Reggie Taylor, number 1. No gain. Actually, he lost a yard on that play. 2nd down and 11 after the 1-yard loss by Logan Hullebarger. 7:40 to go here in the opening half. Bedford 21, Melvindale Academy nothing. And Joey Nagel going to step out now. He's going to be replaced in the lineup by Josh Zeller, number 9. 2nd down and 11 for the Mules from the Melvindale 16. 7:20 to go. Henderson under center, 2 receivers to the near side of the formation. They'll send Foster in motion. Henderson takes the snap, going to keep it himself, and he's gone. Brady Henderson gets his 2nd touchdown of the night from 16 yards out. It is now 27-0 with the extra point pending.
Yeah, what we saw there is Melvindale was loading up the box, looking to make some sort of stop up the middle there, but Henderson saw that, read the play, went out to the outside there, 6 points.
So Deegan Garcia comes on to kick the ball, and I thank Michelle Garman for correcting me there. Deegan Garcia comes on to kick the extra point for Bedford. Henderson to hold, Nasala to snap it back for him. Snap is back, the kick is up, and it's good. With 7:08 remaining here in the first half, your score, Bedford 28, Melvindale Academy nothing. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're listening to Bedford Varsity Football on the home of the Mules. And Deegan Garcia has been a very busy individual here this evening. This will now be his 5th kickoff because Bedford kicked it off to start the game. And he's also kicked 4 extra points now. So he's had as much action as anybody as he gets ready to tee this ball up again as Bedford gets ready to kick this ball back to the Melvindale Gators. Curry and Dantzler III go back again for this kickoff return. 7:08 to go here in the first half, and Bedford with a big lead.
Yeah, you know, there's some players you don't want to spend too much time on the field, but your kicker, you're kind of okay with that.
This is a line drive kick that's going to go end over end and be fielded by Curry, number 4. And he will be brought down by a pack of Mules at the 21-yard line. And it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology at their own 20. Oh, I'm sorry, they're spotting this ball. Sorry, I thought they had spotted it at the 19, but that's because we are still doing the thing where officials aren't touching the football.
That's right.
That's going to take some getting used to. Not going to lie.
Well, you know, just looking at the speed of Melvindale and the kickoff return there, just so uninspired. I hope Bedford doesn't think that this is going to be what they're going to see in the SEC. There's a lot faster teams out there, Saline being one, Monroe being another example here. I don't know if it's just that they're just kind of that defeated in the situation right now, but Melvindale really needs to get out to the track and work on that speed.
This is nothing. This is about the same thing as the season opener for Saline every year when they bring in a team from Canada.
Something like that.
6:58 to go here in the first half. 28-0 Mules. as the Gators come to the line of scrimmage on 1st and 10 from their own 22. Chahua takes the snap, going to pitch it back.
Oh.
Curry got whacked.
Welcome to Temperance, Michigan, I guess.
Looks like Curry on the run, taken out by Becker.
Connor Becker with just a huge hit for Bedford.
Welcome to Temperance.
And enjoy your evening here in Monroe County. 6:30 to go here in the first half. 28-0 Bedford your score, as the Melvindale Gators got no gain on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from their own 22-yard line. I would be interested to see if you added all their yards up here in the first half, if they even had positive yardage.
That's why I'm wishing we had a statistician today. This would be interesting numbers.
2nd down and 10 for the Gators at their own 22-yard line as they get ready to roll under 6 minutes here in the first half. Chahua under center in the I formation, drops to pass. He's going to get away from one tackle, but not the second one. And he is bowled under there by number 74, Joel Rand.
Yeah,
He'll be dropped at the 19.
He looked at one option, saw nothing there, and at that point the pocket had collapsed. He had nowhere to go. Tried scrambling, nothing doing.
In some of these situations, he'd be better off to not continue to drop back. Just take the sack. You're not losing as much yardage if you just get sacked. As you know, that time he dropped back 12 yards and was able to get some of it back, but he still lost 3 yards when all was said and done. 3rd and 13 from the 19-yard line. 5:07 to play here in the first half. Bedford leads 28-0. Deion Curry, the receiver, to the bottom side of the formation here for Chahua. They'll have number 7 in the slot there. That's Amari Martin. And Chahua drops to pass. It's going to be whacked again. That time by number 61, Zach Solaric. And he just absolutely got destroyed. 4th down again, 4th and long for the Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology. 4:30 to go here in your first half. 28-0 Bedford, as number 14, Joey Nagel, comes on to return this punt on 4th and 16 from the 16-yard line.
Yeah, it seems like Melvindale's trying to get those 10, 15-yard passes, but given the time that Chahua has in the pocket before it collapses, he can't do it. Really, they need to start looking at more of those 5-yard dumps if they're going to go with the passing game.
They ought to be running slant routes. He needs to 3-step drop and just throw the ball. He doesn't have more time than that right now. 3:53 to go here in the first half. Bedford leads 28-0. Nagel stands at at the Melvindale 45-yard line. Mules look to get excellent field position here. Snap is very high. Curry's going to put a foot into this, and Bedford calls poison. And I don't think we touched it.
It's tough to tell from up here. I could see it being possible, but
that's the dangerous situation right now with the way they're punting. Bedford just has to keep an eye on it because he's punting it straight up in the air.
Yeah, he's not getting a lot of distance on it. You're in a good position. Don't play games.
But it's falling behind these guys in a lot of situations.
It is.
So they need to turn around and watch where the ball's at so they don't inadvertently touch it and give the ball back to the other team. So it is 1st down and 10 for Bedford. The ball will be spotted at the Melvindale 39 with 3:29 to go before halftime. And I think this is Carver back in at quarterback for the Mules. He's going to keep it himself on the option. Luke Carver, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5, touchdown.
There is a flag
There is a flag on this play. But Luke Carver had reservations for 6 after he broke through that offensive line, and the flag might be why.
Yeah, we'll see what they call here. I didn't see too much from my end. It did seem to be away from the play, whatever they were looking at. Holding, it looks like. So, negate that effort there.
So a 10-yard holding penalty against Bedford. It'll be 1st down still. They're going to spot this They're going to march the penalty off from the 34, so this will take it back to the 44-yard line. So this will be 1st and 15. 3:19 to go here in the first half. Bedford 28, Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology 0. As the Mules move from right to left, Luke Carver back in at quarterback for the Mules. One receiver goes each way here on first down. Carver hands it to Hullebarger. They had a little trouble with the exchange, but Logan makes something out of nothing there, gets them back to the original line of scrimmage. Call that a gain of about 5 yards, as there was a little confusion between Carver and Hullebarger on the exchange there.
Yeah, it was almost if they weren't sure who should take it, given what they were seeing with the defense. But hey, a couple of yards picked up, not too bad.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Mules. Ball at the 39-yard line of Melvindale. 2:45 to play before halftime. Bedford with a 28-0 lead.
And so far, Bedford with no passing plays. They've kept this on the ground all night.
Weaver, the receiver, to the near side of the formation as they motion. 28, the ball carrier for Bedford, Kyle Scoble. And he spins, and he's in. Kyle Scoble. Oh, wow, they mark him out at the 1-yard line. But the 38-yard gainer there by Kyle Scoble. Nope, now they're calling it a touchdown.
Okay, so they kind of negotiated there.
They called the officials were like, maybe, I don't know, touchdown. Kind of reminds me of the one time a few years ago in Chelsea where it should have been a touchdown and they said it wasn't. But we'll take this one. So it's 34-0 Bedford with 2:22 remaining here in the first half as Deegan Garcia comes on to attempt the extra point. Brady Henderson counts his man up at the line. Nazala to snap it back for him. And it is 34-0 with the extra point pending. Good snap, good hold. Good kick with 2:22 remaining here in your first half. Bedford 35, Melvindale Academy 0. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're listening to Bedford Varsity Football on the home of the Mules. Welcome back to Temperance, Michigan. The Bedford Kicking Mules with the 35-0 lead over the Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology with 2 minutes and 22 seconds remaining here in the first half. And it has been all Bedford all night long.
Pretty much here. You got to wonder how Melvindale's going to chat in the – as the ball goes into the end zone here.
Solid kick there by Deegan Garcia. And it rolls into the end zone. And in Michigan, that's an automatic touchback.
Yeah, as I say in there, you got to wonder, there's probably not going to be too much happening from Melvindale in this half. You got to wonder, though, what are they going to talk about in the locker room? Because they've got a lot of things they need to fix up here.
Well, the other thing is that it's a 35-0 lead. So if Melvindale doesn't score here in the next 2 minutes and 18 seconds, we'll have a running clock in the second half because it's a 35-point lead for the Mules. And so that'll be interesting, too, because that'll make the second half go much faster.
And then we can beat all the Toledo schools to sidelines.
Hey, there you go.
That's how I always look at it.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. So Bedford leads 35-0 with 2:18 remaining here in the first half. Dan Roth, Dustin Kress, Joe Kuchar here with you tonight. We are excited that you have tuned in, and you guys are watching the first ever live broadcast of Bedford football on video tonight. It's never happened before, and we are excited to bring it to you live tonight thanks to the Michigan High School Athletic Association relaxing their restrictions. We will be bringing you all 4 of the Bedford home games. Because of attendance restrictions all over the place, we are not going to be able to bring you the road games at Skyline and Saline. We hope that Skyline and Saline will be providing a broadcast for you on those nights, but we will not be at those games. So, unfortunately, just the 4 home games for us this year. Jahua under center for the Gators. He'll take the snap, give it off inside, and he is just met by the interior of that Bedford defensive line.
Yeah, just the speed here of that handoff, very, very slow. Gives a lot of time for that Bedford defense to read what's happening here and really just get right to the ball carrier. And that, if there's one thing Melvindale needs to fix is that speed of their execution. They're taking too long. They seem lethargic, like they don't know exactly. It doesn't seem like they have the confidence.
There's
that they're
a sense
running
of urgency either.
Yes.
2nd down and 9 for the Gators at their own 21 after the gain of a yard. Jahua takes the snap, going to hand it off. Decent gain up to about the 23 there. We'll call that a gain of 2, and I say decent gain as in relatively speaking, right? The Gators have had a rough go of it here in the first half, and it is 3rd down and 7. 3rd and 7 for Melvindale. 1:14 to go before halftime, and the Mules lead 35-0. 1:02 to play here before the half. Again, Melvindale with no timeouts. They used all 3 of them in the first quarter tonight. So they can't stop this clock unless there's an incomplete pass or a first down.
Or out of bounds.
Well, that would work too. or if they spiked the ball.
Yeah, there's options, but yeah, they are limited in their capabilities.
Jahua takes the snap, gives it off inside.
And lost it.
Lost the ball, and Joey Nagel comes up with it. Bedford's got the football. It'll be 1st and 10 Mules at the 24-yard line, and that's a fumble by the Melvindale Gators, and it's 1st and 10 for Bedford at their own at the 24 of Melvindale with 28 seconds to go before the half, and interesting to see what Coach Phillips dials up here.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the ball come loose, but it rolled a few yards back there, and Bedford had prime positioning to pick that up. Beauty of the odd-shaped football, it can bounce any way, shape, or form, and definitely took a mule bounce there.
1 receiver each way for Bedford here on 1st and 10. Zeller to the bottom of the formation, Weaver to the top for Luke Carver on 1st and 10 for the Mules at the Melvindale 24-yard line. He's going to take a knee.
Yeah, in this situation.
That's the classy thing to do.
Well, even then, just considering the health of the athletes, as we talked about at the beginning, these players are masked. So no need to risk any injury here in this situation, as well as, no need to run up the score either.
So we've played 24 minutes in Temperance, and at the end of the first half, your score, Bedford 35, Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology, nothing. We'll be back in 4 minutes with tonight's halftime show. You're listening to Bedford Varsity Football on the home of the Bedford Kicking Mules.
It's halftime. You know what that means. It's time to head over to our website, kickingmule.live, to check out our upcoming broadcast schedule. And when you're not out trying to score a touchdown, let Dustin Kress of the Student Select team at Danbury Realtors help you score the home of your dreams. He's proud to be part of your home team. Give him a call at 419-705-8529. That's 419-705-8529. Or visit WeSellThe419.com. We'll be back with our halftime show after these messages. You're watching Bedford Varsity Football presented by Kicking Mule Productions and the Student Select team at Danbury Realtors. Welcome to the Bedford Varsity Football Halftime Show presented by Kicking Mule Productions and the Studer Select team at Danbury Realtors. Let's head out to the press box for a recap of the first half and a preview of what's to come.
Recap of the first half. Bedford scored a lot of points.
I think we can get a little deeper than that.
No, Bedford pretty much had their own way on both sides of the football. Offense, defense, and special teams. The first score was a punt return for a touchdown. There was almost another punt return for a touchdown that got called back on a block in the back penalty. But it's been all Bedford all night long as the Mules ran the ball early, they ran it often, and they lead 35-0 here at the half.
Yeah, it's definitely a case where Bedford is running that veer offense that we talked about at the top of the game and running it rather well. Part of it is this Melvindale team does not have the speed to keep up with it. But just some of that execution, though. This is clearly an offense that this team is familiar with, and they've been running it very well all night. Going onto the defensive side of the ball for the Mules, again, that speed that they have is working out very well. Melvindale keeps dropping back, trying to get a pass off Chihuahua, just not able to even connect yet with anyone.
Well, we talked a little bit about that during the first half, the fact that, he really just doesn't have time to do anything with the football. So really what they ought to do, 3-step drop, the ball's got to be out of his hand on that third step. He's got to get rid of it because otherwise they've had somebody from that Bedford defense in their face all night long. And when he does drop back, he can run, but he can't hide. And Bedford has been all over him in the backfield. And just a lot of pressure on the quarterback from that Bedford defensive line. And so it's been impressive to see the Mules tonight as they continue to just put the pressure on. They haven't backed off at all. And it doesn't matter who's out there for Bedford. And on the offensive side of the ball, that's certainly been true as well. Two quarterbacks split time here in the first half. Luke Carver and Brady Henderson, they both looked good. They both made good reads. They both had scoring drives. So really interesting to see how this plays out, the competition between the two of them as they go into next week to see who the coaching staff decides to start.
Yeah, and that's really the competition that's to watch tonight at this point. These players are playing for their starting position in a lot of cases. Quarterback being a key example here. Trying to get good plays, trying to look very flawless, execute well. That's, I'm sure, what Coach Phillips is looking at. It's not necessarily the big plays, but who is leading their team on the field, making sure people know where they need to be, executing the plays to perfection. Because those little slip-ups, they can cost you.
Well, the other thing is this just sort of feels surreal here tonight in some ways, just the whole experience. I don't know if you've felt that vibe or not, but Bedford usually packed for a home game, especially the first home game of the season. Certainly not the case tonight, as each player and each cheerleader got to invite two people, and that's it, no more. And certainly the only other people that are here are people that are considered essential personnel. And Mark Garman told me we were essential. I don't know how essential we are, but hey, thanks for the compliment. I'll take it. And I'll also take the opportunity to be here. But the second half, this doesn't feel like a home opener. It feels kind of more like the middle to end of the season. It's a little chilly out there tonight, Dan.
Yeah, not even that. It kind of feels like, occasionally Bedford will try doing like an exhibition game to start the season off. That's kind of the crowd if you've ever been to one of those that we have here. And, the weather is pretty good tonight. It's a little bit on the chilly side, but clear skies. Right now it's about 53, and it's just going to get colder. We are actually under a frost advisory right now.
Only in Ohio and Michigan, we had the air conditioner on at my house yesterday, and we're going to turn the furnace on tonight. Guaranteed. So really interesting.
If you don't like the weather in the Midwest, wait 15 minutes. That's how it works out here.
Really interesting to see now as Bedford comes out in the second half. One of the biggest things that I would say is for both teams and for different reasons, hard to keep them motivated when a score is this lopsided after a half of football.
It can be. Right now, barring a miraculous turnaround, Melvindale's playing for pride. I don't believe they had a single first down that entire half.
I don't know that they had positive yardage.
I don't think in a whole they had, totaling everything up, I think they might be negative yards. Unfortunately, we don't have a statistician tonight. So really, they are playing for pride. And really, it kind of does make me think, going to college football again, a lot of times smaller schools will try to book those bigger schools at the beginning of the
Because
year.
they get a big payday.
They get a big payday, but really a lot of it is, if you're looking at just from the athletic standpoint, if you can get your team to at least hang or be competitive, one of those bigger schools, that speaks highly for your regular season. So Melvindale really has this opportunity to work on their game, fixing some of these small things against a really strong, comparatively speaking, team with the Mules. If they can just, get some of that pride, if they can start getting, those three-step drop-back passes, if they can start holding the pocket a little better against this aggressive Mule defense, that's going to do volumes for them down the road in their season.
Well, right. And, the other thing about this for them is this is a Division VIII school Bedford's playing tonight. There's no shame in coming on the road in this scenario, in this situation against a division. Some years we're Division I, other years we're Division II. But our student enrollment is in the 1,400s. They have 165, 170 students total. So certainly nobody expected them to come out here tonight and be able to beat Bedford. But, you do sort of feel bad for them in a way. But in the year of COVID-19, when you take the game that you can get, this is what happens. And, this is a good experience for them because certainly they probably won't play another team of Bedford's caliber all year long.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know exactly what their schedule looks like and how it's going to play out. But again, this is an opportunity for them. Play against a strong team, even if it is, a few divisions above you, because that's an opportunity to really build your strength. And like I said, if you can just hang with the Mules for just a quarter, that's going to do well for you down the road.
So Bedford's going to get the ball to start the second half. Let's take a quick 2-minute break. We'll be back in 2 minutes with the second half of tonight's football game. You're listening and watching Bedford football on the home of the Mules. And welcome back to Temperance, Michigan. We have 12 minutes on the third quarter game clock. As Bedford comes back on the field, Bedford will get the ball first to start the third quarter here. We will have a running clock once they put the ball in play, unless Melvindale gets it back under 35 points, and then we would go back to a normal clock. And Bedford will have the football first. And this will be the first chance we've had tonight to see Bedford's kickoff return team. We've done a lot of kicking off, but not a lot of receiving.
Yeah, again, a game early like this, you're just trying to work out the kinks. Kick returns are something Mules are going to have to do, so getting a little practice isn't too bad.
And we have number 28. Kyle Scoble goes back to return the kick for Bedford. The kickoff for Melvindale, number 6, is Kyrie Mallett with the ball on the tee. Once they put the ball in play, the clock won't stop unless there's a timeout or an injury. Mallett puts the ball in the air, going to be fielded by Scoble. He'll be out across the 25, out across the 30. Scoble at the 40, the 45, at the 50, still on his feet into Melvindale territory, brought down inside the 45-yard line. And it'll be first down and 10 for the Mules at the Melvindale 43. So a good kickoff return by Scoble gives Bedford excellent field position to start the third quarter.
Yeah, this isn't hockey. If you want to take somebody down, you have to wrap them up there. Melvindale could have had him down closer to the 45, but just lousy tackling effort there. Just somebody I couldn't quite tell who it was, just ran into him. Doesn't always work.
So Brendan Hammer becomes the third quarterback to take a snap for Bedford tonight. He'll bring the offense to the line of scrimmage on first down and 10 from the Melvindale 43. 11-14 to play here in the third quarter. Bedford 35, Melvindale nothing. Hammer takes the snap, hands it off inside. Fullback number 6, Tyler Conrad, the ball carrier.
Yeah, and it looks like Devin Ford there from Melvin was able to really time that snap, got a jump there. That probably reduced the number of yards the Mules got. When you can time that snap as a defensive line, that can work wonders.
So second down and 6 for the Mules after the 4-yard gain there by Conrad and the tackle there by Kyrie Mallett for the Gators. Hammer under center for the Mules. Sends a man in motion. That was number 30, Connor Becker. Hands it off inside again, that time also to Tyler Conrad. And he's going to be across the 35. And he'll have first down yardage for the Mules at the 33-yard line. So first and 10 for Bedford. 10-10 to go here in the third quarter. Bedford 35. Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology nothing as the Mules move from left to right towards the east end zone here in quarter number 3. Bedford's offensive line having a great night tonight. One receiver to each side of the formation for Brendan Hammer. Nothing doing on the handoff to Conrad. That time the defense read that play well, and Hammer would have been better off pitching it out to his slot back, I think, on that one, because there was absolutely nothing going on with the fullback.
Yeah, that's possibly the case there, but Melvindale really stacked the box there. I think they've realized the Mules don't throw the ball. They don't need to worry too much about the receivers. Just load up that box because Mules are generally right up the middle.
Yeah, 0 pass attempts for Bedford tonight, and they haven't needed to. Second down and 12 for Bedford from the Melvindale 35. 9-11 to go here in quarter number 3. Hammer under center for Bedford on second down. Sends a man in motion. Keeps it himself now. Looks to get around the edge. Breaks a tackle. Nice run there by Hammer. He'll be brought down inside the 30-yard line. There is an injured Gator on the play. And you hate to see that, especially when they're already shorthanded. And he tried to get up and then fell back down. This is going to be a timeout for an injured player with 8:42 remaining here in the third quarter. Do want to remind you again to visit Groganstown Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram at 6100 Telegraph Road in Toledo or online at groganstown.com to see a selection of new and used vehicles. I kind of want to mention myself as a sponsor, but I don't know how to do that. So I'll just tell you to check out our real estate website, WeSellThe419.com, the Studer Select team of Danbury Realtors. I want to thank Jeff and Joyce Studer and Jake Studer and all those guys that are on my real estate team. We have a lot of fun. And if you are looking for a house, we would love to help you out. How's that?
That was pretty good.
Okay.
Well done.
So 8:42 remaining here in quarter number 3. Bedford 35, Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology nothing. There is an injured Gator on the field, and the Mules have taken a knee out there, which is not something they used to do. So good to see that sportsmanship out there as the Mules come to one knee while the Gator football player is attended to. He's taken off the sideline. And now we will see the game start back up here.
It looks like one of the refs did pick up a flag there.
Oh, yeah, they're going to march a flag off against Bedford here.
I'm not sure what. I didn't see a.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird timing.
I'm looking for the ref to come out here and actually signal something.
Well, it's a 15-yard penalty, whatever it was. So 3rd and 4 becomes 3rd and very, very long.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the situation was there. I didn't see anything that merited a 15-yard penalty.
3rd and 26 from midfield. They're going to pitch it back. Big hole there for number 5 for Bedford, Drew Grupp, and he is going to be brought down inside the 30 at the 28. It's going to be 4th down, but this is 4th and manageable. He got most of that yardage back. We're going to call this 4th and 7.
Yeah, it's frustrating when you pick up that many yards, but due to the penalty, you still can't get the 1st down. 4th down, we'll see what Coach Phillips dials up here. It's a tough situation. Too far for a field goal, too close to punt. You're up 35. You kind of feel awkward going for it.
And the Gators call timeout. I feel like I've been saying that quite a bit tonight, too.
That's your 4th time.
So they have now taken their first timeout of the 3rd quarter now with 7:42 to play in quarter number 3. Bedford with a 4th and 6 on the way. Ball spotted at the 29-yard line. 4th and 6 for Bedford upcoming. And like you said, too long for a field goal, too short to punt. You're up by 35 in the second half. Your offense has been pretty successful all night. This is a calculated risk.
It's a weird situation, though, because generally speaking, when you're up 35, you don't go for it on 4th down. But what else do you do in this situation?
But from this position on the field,
what else do you do?
There's really not a whole lot of option to do a whole lot else. I mean, you could, I guess, essentially, if you had somebody a quarterback that could do a quick kick, you could, have somebody drop back and do that. But, I don't really think that's necessarily what you're going to see here either.
Yeah, or if you've got somebody who does have that boot just on your sidelines, give them an opportunity for one of those long field goals. But
yeah, I mean, from this spot on the field, that's
a hike.
45,
give or take, yeah.
46-yard field goal.
Not a lot of high school kids can do that.
Not consistently.
Yeah.
So Hammer goes under center on 4th down. Tries to draw him off sides. Going to keep it himself on the option. Brendan Hammer has a 1st down and more, and he'll be brought down at about the 11-yard line. Call it a gain of 18 yards for Brendan Hammer, the junior quarterback for Bedford. It is 1st down and 10 for the Mules at the 11-yard line. They just, the offensive line just imposed their will there.
Yeah, it's one of those things, unless Melvindale happens to read perfectly, it's usually a big pickup for the Mules. Again, that speed, that strength. So, excuse me.
So Hammer goes under center here for the Mules on 1st and 10 from the Melvindale 11, and they're offsides. They had too many people on the field. I don't know what was going on there. They're offsides, too many men on the field. Take your pick. They can only call one of them, so they'll step this off. That'll be 5 yards, and now this becomes 1st down and 5 from the 6 for Bedford. 1st and 5 from the Melvindale 6. 6:51 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Bedford 35, Melvindale Academy nothing. Brendan Hammer already back to the line with his offense. One receiver goes each way. The fullback behind him is number 43, Gabe Johnson. Brings a man in motion, hands it off inside to Johnson. Touchdown. And he just was met and just pushed that defender off of him and scampered into the house from 6 yards out. And it is 41-0 now with the extra point pending for the Mules.
And that's Mules football right there. You do not stop turning those legs. You keep going. And in that case, it was a difference between a second from the 1-yard line or touchdown.
Hammer to hold. Snap is back. The kick is up. And that one's no good. He missed that one.
Yeah, it looks like he
That
came
was
down, took up some of the turf.
Josh Zeller, the attempt there. That kick is no good. So it's 41-0. Bedford with 6:26 to play here in the third quarter. And Dan, the Bedford team doing everything they want to do on both sides of the ball right now.
I mean, pretty much. You had the one fumble early on that was kind of a misstep. But by and large, if the Mules want it, they're getting it right now.
Bedford offensively, they had a 3rd down and 26 and converted that and got 6 points out of it. Unbelievable.
Yep. The rest of the season will not go this swimmingly for the Mules, but definitely a good warm-up for them.
So again, next week we welcome in the Ypsilanti Community Grizzlies to Bedford Community Stadium to kick off SEC play. For those of you who don't know, the Grizzlies actually have joined the SEC Red Division this year. They were in the White Division last year, and they are going to be joining the Red, and they'll be on our schedule every year. And now we'll only play 2 non-conference games instead of the 3 we had been playing. 6:26 to play here in the third quarter. 41-0 Bedford, your score. Garcia kicks it off down to about the 15-yard line, where it is returned by Curry, and he'll get out across the 20 to about maybe the 23.
We're looking for the spot here.
25. They're going to spot him at the 25-yard line, so 1st and 10 for the Gators from the 25 as they take the field on offense for the first time here in the third quarter. 5:55 to play here in the third quarter. Bedford leads at 41-0. Very interesting to see how much fight Melvindale still has how much gas they have left in the tank here. It's hard, no matter how big the opponent is on the other side, to get walloped like this and keep fighting.
Yeah, especially with the depth of their roster. You can only take so many hits until you're just kind of tapped out.
Jahua, the quarterback, has 2 backs behind him on first down. He'll take the snap and hand it off inside to his big fullback, number 6, Kyrie Mallett. And he'll get out across the 25 to maybe the 27, call that a gain of 2 yards. And big number 6 plays both ways, and goodness gracious, he's been out there a long time tonight.
Yeah, and again, these players are wearing masks out there, doing both sides of the football with that limitation, for lack of a better word. That's got to be draining. So conditioning really coming into play for a lot of these players.
So 2nd down and 8 for the Gators from their own 27. 4:33 to play here in quarter number 3. Bedford 41, Melvindale Academy nothing. They'll hand it off inside to number 6 again, and that time Kyrie Mallett gets maybe a yard. He's going to pick up a yard before he's dropped by a herd of mules. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
So, Melvindale just looking to get yards right now, it seems. Really pushing that line forward, getting what they can. 3rd and 7 here in this situation here from their own 28. They're probably going to try airing it out here.
Well,
they're not getting anything from the ground.
This is actually one of the shortest 3rd downs they've had the whole game. So certainly 3rd and manageable for them compared to what they've had so far tonight. They have a receiver each way here on 3rd and 7. Jahua under center takes the snap, drops to pass, and he just gets buried. Back at the 21-yard line, loss of 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down and 14. And again, he just has no time to throw the ball because Bedford's defensive line is just threw that O-line in no time flat.
Yeah, just looking down at the field and reactions of that offensive line, Javon Owens just looked around to the rest of the line. It's almost like, what happened there? I don't know if they're just not on the same page or they're just getting beat that badly.
Joey Nagel goes back to return the punt for Bedford. 4th and 14 from the 21 for Melvindale Academy. 2:54 to play here in the third quarter. Again, a running clock here in quarter number 3. Bedford leads 41-0. No passes thrown by Bedford tonight. They haven't needed to.
Like I said, we're beating all the Toledo schools to Forest View.
Maybe so. It's 8:30. So Dion Curry comes on to punt this ball away for Melvindale. He'll put a foot into this. This is actually a decent punt compared to some of the others he's had tonight, but Bedford will again have excellent field position in Melvindale territory at about the 47-yard line with 2:07 to play here in the third quarter. 41-0 Bedford, your score. So Brendan Hammer going to be out there again for Bedford at quarterback. He'll have Tyler Conrad in there at the fullback position, and the Mules getting some different players some playing time here in the third quarter. 41-0 Bedford, your score, as the Mules take the first snap of this series from the 47 of Melvindale. One receiver each way for Brendan Hammer on first down. Takes the snap. Gives it off inside. No, he keeps it himself there on the option. I thought he handed it off there to Conrad, but he did keep it himself to get it down to about the 42. Call that a gain of about 6 yards. And we'll call this 2nd and 4 from the 42.
I don't think you were the only one fooled on that one. It looked like a couple of Melvindale defenders also took that bait, brought up and that was able to get a few yards.
So 2nd down and 4 for Bedford, under a minute remaining here in the third quarter. Ball at the Melvindale 42. Hammer reaches under center for Bedford. Sends a man in motion. Gonna take the snap. Gonna hand it off. That time Conrad gets it. Met in the backfield, but just breaks free and keeps fighting for first down yardage. And that'll move the chains for a Bedford first down. And Tyler Conrad was met really at the point of attack there and just wasn't going to be tackled.
Yeah, that was David Moore that met him in the backfield, had him wrapped up, and then just seemed to let go. It was almost as if he just couldn't contain it.
One thing about the Bedford Strength and Conditioning program, you can't arm tackle these kids. You're going to have to do better than that.
Mm-hmm. And it's showing tonight. Melvindale's got to learn that one the hard way, apparently.
Folks, we have played 36 minutes in Temperance. That's the end of the third quarter. At the end of 3, your score, Bedford 41, Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology, nothing. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're listening and watching Bedford football on the home of the Kicking Mules. "12 minutes on the fourth quarter game clock. Bedford leads 41-0, and the Mules have the football 1st and 10 at the Melvindale Academy 38-yard line as we start quarter number 4. One receiver goes each way for Brendan Hammer on 1st down and 10. Takes the snap, going to keep it himself. And ran right into the back of his blocker there. If he'd gotten around to that, he was probably gone. But he picked up 6 or 7 yards. Call that again a 6 there for Hammer. Makes this 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, almost like he couldn't figure out which side to go of the blocker there and just couldn't pick which junction to take and ended up running into the median.
Well, you also got to imagine the field starting to get a little wet out there, a little slippery.
Yeah, I'm not in my usual sideline reporter role today, so I can't get field conditions.
It's true. 11:24 to play here in the ball game. Bedford 41, Melvindale nothing. 2nd and 5 for the Mules at the Gator 33-yard line. Hammer with a hard count, takes the snap, gives it off inside. Excuse me. Cugino, the ball carrier there for the Mules.
Dragging a couple Gators with them there.
Angelo Martin with a tackle for the Gators. First down yardage for Bedford inside the 25-yard line with 10:50 to go in the ball game. Bedford leads 41-0. 1st and 10 for the Mules at the 24 of Melvindale. One receiver each way for Brendan Hammer. Cugino behind him in the backfield. Takes the snap, gives it off inside again. Number 17, that's okay, Cugino the ball carrier again. Boy, these numbers are hard to read on the other side of the field. My eyes are old.
I know an optometrist if you need one.
My glasses work, but so it's going to be 2nd down and 3 at the 17 of Melvindale as we roll under 10 minutes to play here in the football game. I thought I was reading that right. That jersey is number 17. Tackle there is Reggie Taylor. So this is going to bring up 3rd and 5. Call that a loss at 2. 9:29 to play in your ball game. Bedford 41, Melvindale Academy nothing. Mules with the football, 3rd and 5 at the Melvindale 19-yard line. Tyler Cugino brings the play in for the Mules. And number 17, bless your heart, your name's not on the roster, comes out of the ballgame after a couple of decent carries there for the Mules. 3rd down and 5. Offsides. Yep. So I think that's going to be a first down for Bedford after just he came offsides and didn't even try to jump back across the line.
He committed.
He was committed to being offsides. 8:51 to play in your football game. Bedford 41, Melvindale nothing, and that was an easy first down there for the Mules after they draw the Gators offsides.
I mean, own your mistakes. If you're gonna screw up, own it.
Guess that's true. So ball at the 14-yard line for Bedford. 8:30 to go here in your ball game. Hammer the quarterback. Gonna take the snap. Falls on it after he was met in the backfield there. I tell you one thing, this Gator defense has figured out the fullback give there.
Yeah, they're loading up that box. Again, they're realizing Bedford isn't passing. Just load up that box.
So, again, Moore with the tackle, and he's kind of a good athlete. You've heard his name a lot tonight for Melvindale. As we roll under 8 minutes to play here, it'll be 2nd down and 12 for the Mules at the Gator 16-yard line. 41-0 Bedford.
David Moore, 5'9", senior for Melvindale.
Wow.
Yeah, they're just jumping that snap.
Again, they're number 1. Reggie Taylor on the tackle. Nothing going there. This is another loss as they drop the Mules in the backfield again. And this will be 3rd down and 14 after the loss of 2. Back to the 18-yard line. And they're just jumping all over his snap count.
Yeah, that's one of the things, as I had said earlier. If you can time that, that is like gold for a defensive line.
Notice that they don't have anybody down on the defensive line. They're just blitzing. And it's been effective, but not, oh, man. 33, the ball carrier there for Bedford, Ty Kirk. and nothing going on there. Big loss on the play that time. Takes them back across the 20-yard line to about the 22, and it'll be 4th down.
It took Melvindale a while, but they finally got Bedford in a situation where they're just losing yards, and it's not from penalties. Question is, the defense seems to have figured it out. Has the offense figured it out?
So 6.5 minutes to play here. 4th and 16 for the Mules at the Melvindale 21. Hammer with 3 receivers, 2 to the top, 1 to the near side. He'll send a man in motion, takes the snap. Going to keep it himself, going to cut it upfield. Brendan Hammer still on his feet. He's going to be dropped short. Good gainer there, gets him back inside the 10-yard line, but that is not going to be enough to move the chains, and it will be Melvindale's ball as Bedford turns it over on downs. Good effort there by Brendan Hammer on 4th down, but just too much ground to cover.
Yeah, when you've got that long of a ways to go to get that 1st down, it's tough on the ground. We've seen Bedford get a lot of 12, 13-yard pickups here. Just couldn't get enough on that one.
So 5:39 to play. Bedford 41, Melvindale Academy nothing. 1st and 10 for the Gators from their own 8-yard line. So 41-0 Mules, and Bedford going to be on defense here as this clock continues to roll. I'm drunk. Can somebody take me home?
What?
No, I'm just kidding. Not
No,
really.
No,
Not really.
for those that couldn't hear, the PA announcer did a little throwback saying game's coming to a close, stadium's going to close afterwards, so kids, which there aren't really any, call for a ride. So just a little hat tip that we just observed here in the stadium.
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite things that Mr. Hubbard would say, time to call those rides.
Yeah.
That was always a good time. 4:35 to play in your ball game. Melvindale finally taking a snap here and going to break a couple tackles. Decent gainer there for number 11, Angelo Martin. That's the biggest gain by far of the night for the Gators. Call that a pickup of 12 yards. Move the chains for a Melvindale 1st down. Is that the first one?
It finally happened.
I think that is 1st down number 1 there. 4:05 to play. Bedford leads 41-0. Again, we will be welcoming the Ypsilanti Grizzlies in here next Friday night. We hope that you will make plans to join us. If you obviously can't be here, which is most of you, you can tune in the same way you tuned in tonight. We'll have that link up all over the place again next week for you to come and check out the broadcast. And again, we want to thank you for making us part of your Friday night. We hope that you've enjoyed yourself.
And I apologize in advance for any bear puns I make.
Chahua takes the snap, hands it off, that time to number 6, Kyrie Mallett. And Bedford's got some subs out there now. Unfortunately for Melvindale, they don't have any subs.
Not really. Looking over at their sideline, I see about 5 athletes not currently on the field. So
3:12 to go. Bedford's going to move to 1-0 on the season. Melvindale going to drop to 0-1. We certainly wish the Gators the best of luck as they get back to probably a little more favorable of a schedule for themselves after tonight's football game. 2:52 to go. 41-0 Mules. 2nd down and 4 for the Gators from their own 26-yard line. Chahua takes the snap, rolls out, looks to throw the football, intercepted. This is number 6 for Bedford. And all the way for a touchdown if they don't call this a block in the back, but I think that's what that one is.
There was a lot of laundry right there. There's most certainly is a block in the back.
There's 4 flags right there. So
Everybody saw that. There was no getting away with that crime.
So
But still,
it'll be Bedford football. The play happened after the penalty happened after the interception. So it'll still be Mule football. They're going to step this penalty off, but it'll be first down and 10 for Bedford with 2:14 to go, and the Mules with a 41-0 lead, and that's the second turnover of the night for the Gators. Bedford with the fumble earlier too.
yeah, and that pass was just so ill-advised.
He was just throwing up a prayer, yeah.
Threw up a prayer, nobody home. Really an easy interception to make for Conrad.
So 2 receivers go to the top side of the formation for Brendan Hammer with 2:02 to go in the ballgame. First and 10 Mules at the 25 of Melvindale as the Gators substitute here. And number 3 taking his time getting off the field. Now the umpire going to step away and let Bedford take this snap. Maybe? Oh, yeah, he's taking a knee. Yep, that's the right thing to do. This game was over before it started.
Yeah, still have to play all the minutes, though, just in case. Bedford having a really great outing tonight, except for a couple missteps. Looked like they were firing on all 8 cylinders, so they definitely deserve this win.
And for the Melvindale Academy, just certainly overmatched and overpowered and outnumbered, for goodness sakes. You know, Bedford has 5 times more players than they do, and certainly probably not an enviable task for them to come in here tonight to try to play this school that is 10 times bigger than them in just student population. So certainly want to wish them the very best of luck as they go on to take on the rest of their season. And Bedford going to be victorious tonight by a final score of 41-0. And I think it's pretty much academic at this point. They are going to have to take one more snap here before it's all said and done. And that should just about wrap things up. Folks, we've played 48 minutes in Temperance, and your final score tonight, Bedford 41, Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology 0. We'll be back in 4 minutes with tonight's postgame show. You're listening and watching Bedford Varsity Football on the home of the Mules.
Welcome to the Bedford Varsity Football postgame show presented by Kicking Mule Productions and the Studer Select team of Danbury Realtors. Let's head out to the press box for a recap of tonight's game.
And welcome back to Bedford Community Stadium, Groganstown Field. Dustin Kress, Dan Roth, and Joe Cooch are here with you tonight, and we are excited that we've been able to bring you the first Bedford varsity football game of the 2020 season. And it looks a lot different than any of us probably ever imagined it would. It's later in the season than any of us imagined it would ever be. But the Bedford Kicking Mules make it worth the wait. They move to 1-0 with the 41-0 win tonight over the Melvindale Academy of Business and Technology.
Yeah, from a broadcast standpoint, wasn't the most exciting game, very much one-sided. But the Mules really demonstrating, a lot of our viewers are Mules fans. They showed that they have quite the team here, showing a lot of strength, a lot of speed, execution of plays. By and large, there was one or two missteps, but for the, if I was giving them a grade, I'd probably give them a B+, an execution out there on the field. So really signs of a great season ahead for the Mules.
Well, you do expect for there to be some missteps in the first week of the year. Bedford with a turnover, some penalties that probably they're going to look back at the tape and say, man, those were kind of not maybe the smartest things we've ever done. But it's week one. You kind of knew that you had an opponent in here tonight that you were going to be able to afford to make some of those mistakes against. You get the first week jitters out, but next week it becomes very real as the Ypsilanti Grizzlies come to town and we start SEC play.
Yeah, and hopefully we can bear through that broadcast. I said there were going to be puns. It's par for the course with me, Dustin. Just be prepared for next week.
Yeah, the Bedford Mules tonight offensively, 0 passes thrown. No big shock, no surprise there. 3 quarterbacks saw the field. We thought that was going to happen. It did. In moments, all 3 of the quarterbacks had flashes of brilliance. If you had to pick a starter, if you, Dan Roth, were picking the starting quarterback, who would it be?
You got to put me on the spot there. I mean, Henderson had some really good plays. I was impressed by his performance. Brendan Hammer, kind of the younger guy. He's just a junior. I don't think he's quite ready for prime time, but definitely somebody who, if his number needs to be called, it's not the end of the world. So at the end of the day, I think I am going Henderson.
I don't know if I would give the edge to Henderson or Carver. I think that both of them looked really good tonight, and I think that Bedford can win with either guy in that quarterback position. That's sort of an enviable position to be in too, when you've got 2 field generals out there that you really could depend on to win a football game for you.
Yeah, and that's part of the beauty of it. As we had mentioned, this is an awkward season. All sorts of things can take a player out in this COVID era. So to have that depth at that position is really just a benefit to this Mules team.
So John Phillips gets his first win as Bedford's head coach.
Undefeated.
Got to be exciting for him, and certainly for this coaching staff to be back out here with these kids tonight. Just, I don't know, 4 weeks ago, they didn't think this was going to happen. So it's got to just be a good feeling tonight to be able to say that you've got the first game under your belt. You're moving forward. Bedford, didn't have any injuries tonight that we're aware of. So, certainly you got to think that that's a good thing too. You got a lot of guys some snaps. A lot of guys got playing time, and the Mules move to 1-0.
Yeah, you'll have some people that probably are going to need to put the ice on a few sore spots. But, again, great job by the Mules, injury-free by and large as far as we can tell. Really not – kind of have to get nitpicky at this point to really come up with any critique on the Mules, everything considered.
Absolutely. I think that, again, there are a couple of penalties that they're going to scratch their heads on as they look at the tape. That one fumble that maybe they're going to look back on and say, man, we kind of wish we had that back. But other than that, they're in the second half, they're in the fourth quarter. You had 13 guys out there, taking snaps when Melvindale finally got a defensive stop. So you certainly have to like what you saw on both sides of the ball from Bedford tonight. The defensive line, I think, was one of the highlights. Melvindale's quarterback had no shot at throwing the ball. Bedford's defensive front was in the backfield all night long.
Yeah, and that was a situation where the defense basically could call the shots the entire evening whenever they were out on the field. Melvindale tried the deep drop back. That didn't work. They tried kind of the shorter drop back. cause the quarterback to scramble and either get sacked or maybe pick up a yard or two. Really just an excellent job across the board for this Mules team.
So we have some people to thank. Obviously, we want to thank Bedford Public Schools and Mark Garman for inviting us back to broadcast this year. We want to thank Groganstown Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram for their sponsorship of everything going on here at Bedford High School. We want to thank Kicking Mule Productions, in particular our genius friend Joe Kuchar, who is the executive producer and just basically the wizard of Bedford behind the curtain tonight, just making all of this happen for us as we were able to bring you the first ever live television or video broadcast of Bedford football. So thanks to Joe for that. We also want to thank Dan Roth for his expert commentary. And for all of those guys, my name is Dustin Cressom. We want to thank you for joining us. Have a great night, everybody.